Visit their site, medievalextreme.com, to shop for their fleet of period-accurate
This game, you're not
equipment and weapons.
Based out of New Hampshire,
In all things armor, they forge axes, falchions, and any other piece of equipment one needs to get started in medieval battle sports. Visit their site, medievalextreme.com, to shop for their fleet of period-accurate equipment and weapons.
Based out of New Hampshire, Armored Combat Sports holds over 50 events every year in the US alone. Today's is the Rookie Rumble, where anyone that's been a knight for less than 2 years can compete. And when we say compete, there are no actual weight classes, not even gender classes. A large man sized against a smaller woman is very likely.
I think so much of the sport is less about your size and more about your just willingness to go in there with everything you got and just be crazy in the list, be aggressive, and it's a lot of spirit, I think, in this sport. So I think ladies got the spirit. If they want to go out and be violent, they should join the sport.
Timer, you ready? Fight!
Being a female in the sport and being able to define what the sport is and what our role is really exciting. Being able to meet other female fighters and prove that, yeah, we're just as legitimate in this sport. Being able to form new friendships and really make it our own. That's always exciting for me. And to be able to like encourage and grow that community and really have this equal, inclusive environment for all genders and everyone across the rainbow is an amazing opportunity.
So it's gonna, with a Warlord tournament style, it's gonna start and we have a whole bunch of 1v1s. When it comes down to the 1v1 is done, whoever's the winner of that 1v1 then becomes the leader of that two-person team. Then they fight another two-person team. When they win, whoever that is, now it's a four-person team with the same first leader. It keeps going until that there are only two teams left of equal balanced sizes.
We have about 50 fighters here today. So ultimately, at the very end of this Warlord tournament, we should have a 25-on-25 chapter match.
Aggressive melee, but there's a weapon dropped. There's a weapon dropped, the falchion is down. And I heard an armor. That was a good push.
Fighter with that shield is ready to go. Let's see if they come out just as aggressive as they did before.
Oh, and a miss! Oh! He got too excited for the miss, and he is wearing medieval shoes. Like we were saying earlier, on grass, that flat leather, it's almost like ice skating. He got eager, pushed through his toes, and tripped himself.
It's the traction of the feet that's insane.
It's tough.
Oh, really?
Flat leather. No traction. Look at that.
If I dig in with a normal shoe and I try to push it along the ground, right? Versus with this, that's the difference.
That was a double comedy of errors. Oh, hugging the stick, hugging the stick.
Oh, so close!
Oh!
And unfortunately he's down, but he did take his opponent's weapon with him, so there's something good to happen.
And his helmet.
And his helmet came off, which will be another yellow card.
Feeling good?
Visibility is gnarly.
Again, heavy aggression.
Switch his technique up on me? That is so exhausting. It is painfully hot. Can't see anything. I don't know how to do anything. I'm just slipping around. Carrying a dinner plate and a big old steak knife.
Who won? His opponent did.
The other guy, I don't know. Did I get any points or anything?
No, but you're on his team for the next round.
You're on his team.
I was brutalized in the first round, but with a strong leader and a few fights under my belt, I was ready to get back in the ring.
Okay, we know this guy in the satellite knows how to swing. We saw him do it a bunch, so let's see how he gets that aggression out. There we go.
Nice stuff. Nice
And there we have Colton with my axe. Just got taken down, but the opponent went with him.
Fatality.
Although I was able to take down my opponent, I eliminated myself in the process.
Headbutt.
Headbutt.
Headbutts are so funny in armor. Fortunately, they are going for head attacks at the moment. They saw it. They saw it. Good, good.
How are you doing now? What's going on? How are you doing?
Man, I'm feeling real hot.
You're in 112 right now.
In 112 degree weather.
No, like this is 92. You are currently at 112.
I'm at 112. Yeah, it's hot.
We want to be grading to our meet up with our guys, run away, hit you guys, and then it's a 2-on-1 right against them. Then we leave again.
Okay, now now they're rolling up. We're gonna see who came to the wrong neighborhood here. With those lower numbers, they backed themselves into the corner, so that way they couldn't get flanked. Oh, there we go. Getting those falchion shots out. Ooh, if they could pull on the hips there, they almost have the right idea. That was a scramble. That was... They all had an idea, and they all attempted to execute it, but it just came out in the wash, and...
Fatality.
We got a back shot, a football tackle, and a weapon drop all in 1 second.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm just cramping like a motherfucker.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna pull that.
Can I get someone?
Shoot it.
I got someone.
By the way,
You're doing great.
good job taking that accent.
He's excitable.
Oh, there's an axe there?
This was not there.
Yeah, I'm gonna an axe to the back. You didn't even know it.
It might look like uncontrolled chaos on the battlefield, but there is a strict set of rules that fighters must follow. So while Harris rested, I talked with Jay, who is the pioneer that brought this sport to the US.
How'd you get started doing this? I mean, you're like the guy that kind of like started this whole thing, right? Like,
So I was a Dungeons and Dragons geek in the 70s.
Okay.
And my mom said, hey, there's a medieval fair down the street. I lived in Rhode Island, and I went. I saw these guys fighting in armor with swords and went, I've got to do that. And I really haven't turned back. So it's 40 years this year. We built a rule set in 2013, which has run 8 world championships with us. And our rules are as similar to medieval rules as we could do, and keep it safe.
how are people not like losing limbs and like getting decapitated? I don't understand. Like,
it's because media has had it wrong the whole time. They've been putting it through theater and then putting it in the movies. They've been doing it wrong. You know, armor works.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have spent all the money they had to get armor.
I know, but I think about like the little gaps, like what happens
well,
if
you have to be able to strike those gaps.
Yeah.
And so you have to learn techniques with a weapon. It doesn't just go to those spots, you have to make it happen. And so a fighter that's defending, who's wearing full suit of armor, who's also swinging at you, right, it takes away all those possibilities of hitting all those little spots.
Yeah.
And so you can't.
Yeah. So it's safe.
So it's safe.
Armored Combat Sports is one of numerous leagues that participates in medieval battle. All leagues, however, require the essentials: armor and weapons. Medieval Extreme is a retailer that sells equipment that meets the standards for ACS, IMCF, HMB, and Bohurt supplies. Medieval Extreme's period-accurate weapons and armor can be purchased online at medievalextreme.com. Check out their selection and learn more about full contact battles.
I want you on that side.
Right on.
Yeah, and you guys, we're all runners. Okay, but take your time. Take your time. Okay.
We got the fight. There we go. Axes are swinging. This is what I wanted to see. People using axes for their intended purpose. Let's go! Oh!
Fatality.
Long axe is down, but Chuck is still
Fatality.
She's trying to utilize that axe. She just took a solid hit.
Xander just shoved her off, though.
Oh, she's bullied into that corner, and it looks like she's down. Well fought by Colton.
Oh, those thigh shots are
Solid
nasty.
thigh shot. Nice swinging.
Oh, I heard 3 clinks and a thunk.
There you go. This is no joke. It's terrifying standing up. It's terrifying walking in. It's terrifying on the ground.
Terrifying getting hit.
It's terrifying getting hit. Everything about it. I'm sitting here terrified.
This is not easy stuff.
Not at all. Not even close to easy.
You don't have the energy you started with.
No. I don't even know how to answer that. I don't have the energy to answer that.
Team captain, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, final round.
Does that mean that you won all of your
I won all my rounds.
rounds? Yeah.
Yep. So if we win these, I'm the warlord. If their captain wins, they're the warlord and they win.
30 seconds until the next versus.
Fatality.
Slip. Now that leg was pulled.
We got called off the rail in the far corner. We got this Pine Baron throwing some shots to an unarmored leg. Keep swinging,
Keep
Pine
swinging.
Baron.
Oh, he's not
Swinging,
paying
Pine
attention.
Baron.
You got to keep that head on a swivel. Field awareness is paramount. You can't let someone sneak up on you like
That
that.
Pine Baron's got to keep swinging.
I don't think he's hurt. I think he's fatigued.
I'm just cramping.
Hey, look at me. Get in. Throw my finger. All right, get in there. Go.
I'll hand it
No,
to you.
no, he's done.
He's all done.
Hey, you get back out. You're done.
Fatality.
After one too many rounds in the blistering heat and getting made into a ragdoll, the medics pulled me from the remainder of the competition. I became one of the abounding casualties. Chuck's team carried on without me.
Now is the time to strike. That was a clean neck strike from that person with the scale Aventail to Chuck Goodwin's neck. Chuck's got to stand up. Chuck's
Yeah, they
gotta
came
keep
back
it
with a
going.
big axe. That was a good block, but it's not
Good
gonna
try.
hit. Yeah. Oh, that was another neck strike. To
Oh,
Chuck
he
Goodwin.
got hooked and suicided. The only successful suicide we've seen today. We need. We need more people for Team Chuck if they
Look
want
at-
to stand a chance.
Look at how many people were left standing, though, at the end. Team Chuck took out a good portion of them. If they had the numbers, that could have been a victory.
The Warlord was crowned, and while my team with Chuck lost, there was still the final Rookie Rumble to take place. Until then, though, we talked with Brian, who has competed all around the world as a professional. What is the community like from here
You'll
to
see
the
a
rest
lot-
of the globe?
The
Like, is it-
camaraderie worldwide is incredible. The event that I went to in Ireland was put on at a castle. The owner of the castle said, if you're coming from out of town, sleep on the floor. And so that was another check off my bucket list, to sleep in a castle.
We could only imagine the international community that exists, but here, it was clear.
I don't know everybody, but I've already heard that somebody's from New Orleans, somebody's from Virginia.
It's people wanting to know you through your fighting style and getting that kind of relationship going, because they joke around before and after. They become friends.
England and Germany. Good luck, boys.
And England are in their red shirts. Their red shirts are coming!
Big Dave, let's just remind the audience that these fights that we are watching right now are for a place in the quarter-finals. These fights are for a place in the quarter-finals. France, the first team through to the quarters. Ladies and gentlemen, can I ask everyone to give Team England a big cheer? And let's do it for our German brothers. Give them a cheer too. Good luck, Germany. Yeah.
Augie, Augie, Augie! So if you're for Germany, it's yeah. And for England, it's Augie, Augie, Augie!
That is what I'm talking about. Right, we're going to try and find out the names of Team England. Who have we got?
You got Tom Flynn on the left, Roland Longley, Nikolai Mamak, Stacey Wells, and James Marino.
And here we go! Andrew Gagan.
The two big guys.
One big guys, but all big.
The two big English boys are called the Ox and the Pie Man. The big guys on the right-hand side, the Ox.
Ox and the Pie Man, awesome.
Look at that
They get stuck in.
Look
And here we are fully committed now. There's no going back. Everybody's getting stuck in.
It's 5-on-5.
Who's going to... Oh, the German vehicle's down! Advantage to England.
A German's down.
Oh, this is really when you hope your arm is going to stand up.
We got the English peacock up in one corner.
Look in there.
Germany running into intervene.
Oh, big headshot! Oh, a great takedown by England now.
4 English fighters still up to 2 Germans.
The battle can continue. It will continue. Oh, big hits!
It's 4-on-2, Dave.
He's just getting choked.
It's 4-on-2.
How much can he take this man? That's so impressive.
That's a serious armor test going on for that Germany.
This is where you hope every penny you spend was worthwhile.
Oh, the English boys
He's just chopping away his back.
It's so
And 3-on-1.
And well done to that German man for standing up to such punishment. And give it up for England for taking the first round.
Oh, I tell you what, Brendan, that was incredible.
Yeah, I was watching. I had to intervene and get a couple of comments, and it was a fantastic round. Great performance on the field from both teams. England and Germany, very tough. So.
And you know the good news is the weather is going to get better and better. The rain has stopped. Behind Germany, yeah.
And a shout out to the English fighters for Team Invicta on the field. With the patch on their shoulder.
Now I'm not too sure if that's the Ox
Here we
or
go.
the Pie Man.
Here we
One
go.
or the other.
Oh, but Jim's going right up the middle. There's a big kick to stop him. And right into the list.
Okay, we're 2-on-2 on each side of the rails, and 1 free mover from each team in the middle. Now they've engaged.
Oh,
Germany
he's
wants to turn it up.
good kick. He went for the kick. And that is what you ask why we don't kick very often. Now you know why.
And then Germany takes it.
They take such an advantage here. Total busy. What's going on? 4 Germans still play, and
the Peacock's moving in.
Oh, the Peacock with his hammer just stuck in there.
Are those feathers going to help him? We'll wait and see. There's still 4 Germans on their feet, boys.
Oh, they both got down. Oh, he's just chopping away even gets his back.
It's 3-on-2 for Germany this round.
Here we go.
Look at the big man, the big English boy. He's just taking
He's got room to work with that axe. That's not something you want to stand up against.
Oh!
It's
2v1, it can continue. Oh, and Germany take round 2.
Big Dave, Brendan, that means it's 1-1.
That's it.
We're going to round 3.
Remember, Brendan, this is for a place in the quarter-finals. Just how are these guys feeling right now? What's going through their heads?
It's all to play for now. They're both evenly matched. They know that it all comes down to this 3rd round.
And if you're behind Team Germany, yeah! For a place in the quarters, Big Davey.
What can I say? This is just superb on the second round of the day.
I'd just like to note that down in our end of the list, you might have seen them putting a beam in to secure the gate. That's the second 10 centimetre square beam they've had to use, at least the second, because the first one snapped. That's the kind of force going in here.
Yeah. Just like a herd of elephants. And here we go again. It's kicking off now.
We got an Axeman on each side, in the middle, free to move around, line each other up.
The big watch everything on the turn. Let's see who's going to get the first advantage.
For the place in the
TV2 on the left. Some fighters. Oh, big hit to the bum.
Pretty sure that's Team the X Fire Martin. He goes down though.
It's 4-on-4, boys. 4-on-4.
This is still here. He's going to be careful background. He's running it. He's not going to lead. Oh, he got it. Well done, Irish fighter.
Unbelievable. It's
big punches. Now this is where you've got to decide who you're taking on.
This is incredible.
It was 3-on-4, but it's still very close.
The peacock in the corner, the peacock, look up, boys.
Oh, the peacock's just jumped away. Oh, we can go anywhere.
It's 3-on-3. The German fighter struggling, he's just about up on his feet, but he manages to get out, and now it's the English fighter that's been bent over.
This is so close. Who's it going to be? Get behind your team, give them a cheer, come on.
And can the peacock pull it off? Remember his battle cry? Caw-caw!
Now it's just two great slogging matches on the rails.
As he gets down, and now we're going to see what we can do.
He's out the corner, boys, and this is full on.
As you can see, there's lots of fighters on the ground, which make for terrible trimming hazards for your teammates.
They're almost done, boys. He's almost done.
So close, that German's been right over. We've got. It's 2-on-1. A German here that goes, he does a pirouette.
What's going to happen? What's going to happen?
He's still on his feet.
He's still on his feet.
He's still on his feet. Give this English boy a cheer. What a warrior. What a warrior.
Back punch to the face.
What a warrior. Are the Germans really going for it?
Cheer him on, folks. He's getting everything he's got.
This is incredible.
Get behind your fighter.
I think one of the marshals, Martin Casey, just got sand kicked in his face from the German.
This is unreal. Come on, give these boys a cheer for Team England. Get behind your fighter. The Germans. What's going to happen? Oh, that's 2-on-1. It's down. That's heartbreaking.
What a hard victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I ask everyone to give a big cheer to Team England? What performance. Team England, give them a cheer. For your winners, Germany! Brendan, that was insane.
That was so close.
Has arrived. Now listen, if you are up for supporting Team USA, let me hear you cheer for the USA! USA! But you know what? Let's big up and let's welcome our friends from Luxembourg!
Let's see some flag action. This is the checkers game where grandson and granddad will bond.
remember us, the two armed Texans? The media wanted you.
Karen messed with the wrong Royal Guard. Royal Guards are a group of military bodyguards, soldiers, or armed retainers responsible for the protection of a royal person. Royal Guards have to stick to a strict regimen and never break. He messed with a Royal Guard. Be sure to watch the entire video as you don't want to miss any clips. The first clip, we have a guy who messes with the wrong Royal Guard. Initially, the guy goes to take a photo with the Royal Guard, which is fine in itself. However, it is what happens next that is the major problem. After taking the photo with the Royal Guard, he decides it would be a wise idea to touch the Royal Guard on the nose. In this case, the guard was not a single bit happy and yelled, "Step back from the Queen's Guard." This is definitely a hard job as you have to constantly put up with people annoying you and trying to get a reaction. Anyways, let's check it out.
علي المس علي المس خد
Do not touch the Queen's Guard!
The next clip shows a man who stands right in front of a set of Royal Guards marching down the street. Either this guy has no spatial awareness or is doing this on purpose to get a reaction from the Royal Guards. But it is clear that the guards were marching down the road and he could see everyone move out of the way. Even his wife didn't tell him to move. Well, this is definitely a clip you want to see for yourself, as you won't believe what happens after the Royal Guards bump him off. After watching this clip, I am still curious what the guards would do if a small child was in their way. Would their reaction be different, and would they move out of the way? Who knows? Anyways, let's check it out.
Coming down, Derek. Mine.
Bye-bye!
This next spot shows a Karen who literally throws her glove at the Royal Guard and expects him to pick it up and get it for her. I couldn't believe this happened, as this Karen literally shows a load of disrespect to the Royal Guard. Luckily, a bystander came past and told them what they were doing was completely wrong. The crazy part is the lady didn't even think she was in the wrong, and as she leaves, you could see she had a smirk on her face as she thought it would be funny to mess with the Royal Guards. As she messed with the Royal Guard, he ends up stomping his boot, and you could tell he was not happy. The guard's reaction was good and showed the lady who was the boss. Anyways, let's check out the clip.
It's a standoff. Who's gonna get the glove first?
Here comes
Just throw your glove over to the side. Why would you do that? The army's here to protect the crown jewels. They're not here for the public to make fun of. Right? He's a soldier and he serves his country. He deserves to be treated with a little bit of respect. Throwing your gloves at him isn't going to work, is it really?
And there they go. That guy's following him.
Lady messes with guard. The next clip shows a young lady who is messing with the wrong Royal Guard. She starts singing and dancing in front of the guard for no reason. You can see the guard was not happy at all and ends up stomping his boot and walks off. This lady gets a huge surprise when he does this and is shocked as he walks off. This is definitely a moment when someone messed with the wrong Royal Guard. The sad part is, the guard is just trying to do his job and serve his country. It can be very annoying when someone is making a joke out of them, or even trying to get a reaction, as if the guard loses his temper, then it can cost him his job. are still watching up until this point, comment below #KarenGuard so I know who only my true supporters are. Next up, we have a Queen's Guard who ends up barging into a lady yelling, "Stand clear." This was during change of guards. This lady has no time to react after the guard yells, "Stand clear," and then walks straight into him. In this instance, the lady was in the way of the Queen's Guard, but we still cannot get a good look into if she was standing there on purpose or just didn't even realize she was in the way. As you can see, the Queen's Guard has a smile on his face after he barges into the lady. This makes me think he knew exactly what he was doing. Although she was standing in the way, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Do you believe the lady is in the wrong? Lastly, we have a Queen's Guard who ends up slipping over at Edinburgh Castle. This one must have hurt as the guard slams on the ground. Luckily, he gets back up and continues to walk into the castle, although you can tell it looks like this one would have hurt a lot. It was nice to see a bystander try and help the Queen's Guard for once instead of pestering them or annoying them for a reaction. Let's check out the clip. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe with notifications on and also check out some of my other videos on screen.
Bye.